So, Jonathan V. Last, you write in part, quote, as the political strategist Mike Murphy said many moons ago, Biden's age is like a gigantic pair of antlers he wears on his head all day, every day, even when he does something exceptional, like visit a war zone in Ukraine or whip inflation. The people applauding him are thinking, can't stop staring at the antlers. But you argue that President Biden is almost certainly the strongest possible candidate Democrats can field against Donald Trump. You continue. Unemployment is at its lowest low. GDP growth is robust. Real wage gains have been led by the bottom quartile. And the American economy has achieved a post-COVID soft landing that makes us the envy of the world.
Makes us the envy of the world.
He has no major scandals.
Did you see poor Comer this weekend?
His handling of American foreign policy has been stronger and defter than any recent president's. Moreover, he is a known quantity. Biden is fully vetted. His liabilities priced in. Voters are not being asked to take a chance on him. And I'll add to that, he, unlike any other Democrat we know, has beaten Trump before.
Yep.
So
he has. So, Jonathan, the hand-wringing, it continues, but it's been going on for a couple years. In fact, it's been going on since Joe Biden has been in politics. And we hear it all the time. Oh, Biden's too old. After Iowa 2020, poor old guy. He doesn't know his day is done. After New Hampshire, open mocking and ridicule. Nevada, it's over. He goes to South Carolina. Jim Clyburn endorses him. Boom. He sweeps through it. He wins. Then he's president. We heard the same thing. Oh, he's too old. Poor old dumb man. We heard this from progressives. He thinks you can still get bipartisan deals. What an idiot. We heard it. He got more bipartisan deals than anybody since maybe maybe LBJ. I don't know. Then 2022. Oh, Biden, the Biden party, too old, too tired. They're not going to win. What about that red wave? Never. I mean, this keeps going. He's too old. Does a State of the Union. Oh, my God, he's great. 3 days later, he's too old. You would think people would get embarrassed. I'm dead serious. You would think people would get embarrassed and be humiliated by all the times they were wrong about Joe Biden over the past 3 years. Instead, they just keep on keeping on.
Yeah, they keep misunderestimating him, right? I get why people are nervous, though, right? Don't tell me the odds, tell me the stakes. And the stakes are like we're for the first time since the Civil War at a vaguely existential inflection point for American democracy. And everybody wants a sure thing. So I get that. Everybody would like to say, yeah, we've got a guy running who is so good that it's a 95-5. Don't worry, everything's going to be great. Instead, because of the everything of what America is today, because of polarization, because of partisanship, because of the geographic sorting and the Electoral College and the Senate, we live in a world where whoever the Republican candidate is, they're going to have at worst a 40-45% chance to win, and at best a 50-55% chance. And so Biden is like a 50-50 shot. And maybe things will be a little bit better than that. Maybe we'll get all the way to 55-45 by November. Your lips to God's ears. But it's really disconcerting. And so people think, well, there has to be something better. And there isn't. This is it. Joe Biden is the nominee, and you're going to learn to love it, America.
Jonathan, I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree with you more. The question is the sticky factor, and maybe it's as simple as that age issue. The accomplishments speak for themselves. I don't have to go over it. We just teed it up across the board. Why, more than any other politician or any other president, does it not stick?
I wish I knew, man. So the age stuff has been showing up in the polls for the better part of 3 years now, and the thing which gets me crazy is when you delve into the crosstabs on these polls with Ask the Age question, and you look head-to-head Biden versus Trump on the straight question of who is mentally fit and mentally together enough to be president. Trump is like plus 20 over Biden. And I just look at that and I think, what in the world are you people seeing?
It's
because I see
crazy.
the same stuff you guys showed us in the supercut. But even if you go back 4 years, you listen to Trump. He's like, we're going to do the winning on the economics and the winning on the militaries. Yeah. He's never been all there mentally. And so some of this is a voter problem, right? And the American voters got to be more serious.
Lisa, one of the stats that really stood out to me in your all's poll from the weekend was that Trump is over 90% with voters that voted for him in 2020, and that Biden is, I think Biden was like at 83% with voters that supported him in 20 in terms of supporting him now. That gives, I mean, the good news for the Biden team is there's your roadmap. You know what you need to do. You need to convince those voters. But is there something else that we haven't talked about that you think was noteworthy in the poll?
Well, I just think a voter problem is, in fact, the problem, right? If you want to win elections, you need to have voters. And, what you point out is really true. They have an enthusiasm issue among Democrats, and maybe that changes, but they're going to have to, I think the campaign is very well aware that they're going to have to get, particularly these low propensity voters, people that came out for Joe Biden in 20, who maybe now, even though the economy is by all measures doing better, don't necessarily feel better than they did in 2019. They need to find a way to get these people out and get them energized and excited and out to vote for Joe Biden again, even if his accomplishments aren't breaking through to them. So it's a thorny problem. And when you add the age issue on top of that, they certainly, as you say, have their work cut out for them.
National political correspondent for the New York Times, Lisa Lehrer, and editor of The Bulwark, Jonathan B. Last. Thank you very much. Great piece. We appreciate your coming on this morning.
Thank you all.
Well,